First, we're not worried about the short-term price speculation. We are building a global network and a protocol that will be of great value for many people around the world. And we're mostly worried about building a great product and a great protocol that will long live. So all our focus is on building a good product. And then long term that will drive the price of the token in the long term. So we're not really much worried about the price this week, next month, or next few months. But we are do worry about how we build the best possible network, and that's what we have been focusing. It's true that we haven't been able to push as fast as we can, and we have some issues. The main one was when we started to launch and create loans in the network. We noticed several problems with our early design. If you remember, the, the last part of the last year, CryptoKitties was launched, and during that time, the Ethereum network became really saturated, and many of the state flows of the smart contracts that we built initially had problems completing all the states, and things weren't working as smooth as we would like. So we learned a lot from that, and because of that, we decided that it was best to redesign and rebuild the architecture for the smart contracts of the network. That is mostly done, and that's the good news. And it delayed our roadmap, but not by that much. And we're calling that version 2 of the smart contracts for the network. They are mostly done. They are ready to go into be audit, and in the following weeks they will be started to be used on the network, and we will start pushing loans into the network again. And at the same time, we have been growing the RCN team, so it has more developers now, and also we have been thinking again how we will push the all the launch of the mainnet, and we're aiming for that at the beginning of April. So I know that there has been some delays from our previous roadmap, but there were things that we did not anticipate that could happen, but we learned a lot from them. And the result is going to be that we going to have a much better network that will be a lot more resilient, and will allow us to scale and build a big network. So there's a lot of good things coming up the pipeline in terms of product and development.
Hello there. Regarding the market price of RCN, we think it doesn't come directly from the secondary market. It will be driven from the activity in the RCN network. We are working hard to deploy new features that will allow new partners and agents to come to the network and start providing services, therefore increasing the natural and organic demand for the RCN token. On this case, we expect that we create and rise the value of the overall RCN network, including its token. For the transactions happening in the network, there is no direct link with the price in the market because the price of RCN is calculated at the moment the transaction is happening. For example, when the lending capital is flowing from the lender to the wallet, and when the wallet allocates the capital to the borrower, or when the borrower is paying back the lender directly to the wallet. So the moment when that transaction is happening, since the loans are denominated in the currency that the borrower and lender agree, at that moment the rate is calculated, so there is no risk of potential fluctuation or volatility between the RCN and the currencies involved. Yes, actually, our white paper and the overall description of the RCN network has been moved from the PDF that we had to our GitHub. This was announced around 2 weeks ago in our weekly update. We decided to do this to give the white paper a more technical perspective and also an easier way to update it. We expect to add a lot of new features and work in the new version of the protocol, so it's easier for our development team to do it directly in GitHub. Yes, we are working hard to translate all that documentation, white paper, and the description of all of our technology into other language like Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, Indian, among others. We are on track with our roadmap. Actually, we can proudly say that we have finished the entire development of version 1 of the RCN network protocol. Now, we are working very close to finish version 2 of our protocol, which includes a lot of upgrades in terms of the transactional efficiency of the network, allowing us to do more without having to create and broadcast or mine many transactions where the interactions between the agents are happening. We expect that in the upcoming weeks and months, we will be able to announce version 2 of our network, and also there will be a lot of new features as well as our new roadmap attached with that second version of the protocol. We expect to unveil the new roadmap in about 1.5 months. Yes, we have an ambitious plan for accelerating the development of the RCM protocol network, for scaling our plan and for making all the things we have projected faster. Regarding the proceeds that we had from the token sale, so far we have not cashed out the majority of those proceeds. We have reserved that for future company strategic decisions that will be decided directly by the company board. At this moment, we have enough budget and resource for the execution of our planned roadmap for the next 2 to 3 years. The only incentive the company has in order to grow the network and the activity is that the tokens are part of the company assets, so they could raise their value. Actually, we have an incentive to avoid releasing more tokens into the market. With that being said, we don't have any direct plan, once the lockup term of the smart contract is due, to distribute those tokens or put them into the market. We will use them strategically according to our plan and roadmap. We don't expect to start using them right away once the lockup of the smart contract is finished. And also we are discussing internally if it makes sense to lock them for another 1 or 2 years. Tim Draper, Pantera Capital, Medici Ventures, which is the VC of Overstock, Boost VC, Digital Currency Group, Fembushi Capital. All of these VC and institutional investors are Ripio investors, which is the company behind RCN. Based on a communication strategy, we decided to only show the institutional token buyers on the RCN website. But all these investors previously mentioned are still investors in the holding company of RCN, which is Ripio. So they are indirectly both token holders and investors. We believe this is the proper way to communicate in order to avoid any confusion and also directly separate the institutional backers of each business we have, Ripio and RCN. Ripio is the inspiration and the first company showing a use case and an implementation of the RCN network protocol. However, the RCN network has been designed to allow all wallets providers and exchanges to integrate, replicate, and clone what Ripio has done with loans within their users and outsider lenders. We will soon announce new wallets that will integrate the RCN protocol and will replicate what Ripio has done. Ripio is just the first case, the first company doing this. RCN has a global spectrum and vision that allows several wallets, providers, and exchanges to integrate this technology and connect to the network, allowing their users to become borrowers and lenders within the network. So there could be integrations with wallet providers in Europe, for example, that will allow their users to become lenders for Ripio users who could become borrowers within the RCN network. Agents like the cosigner, the scoring provider, or the ID verifier take a big risk if they allow collusion because all the transactions are public. Hence, they have reputational exposure and incentives to avoid bad actors. Otherwise, they will lose lenders' confidence and not be part of the official directory of trusted agents that RCN publishes. Yes, we want more people involved on the development of the RCN network. We want help. We are also thinking about launching a sandbox in RCN to allow third-party developers to test and deploy decentralized applications. We want your feedback and suggestions, so we want you to be involved with the project. Feel free to reach out. We will be happy to keep you updated and we will let you know how you can help. At the moment, the core team of RCN are 8 people, most of them developers. We are actively and aggressively hiring new people for the RCN team. Ripio, which is the company behind RCN, has 50 employees and they are also hiring more and more people for the expansion plan. Regarding the new milestones after April, I mentioned it before that we have accomplished our entire roadmap for version 1 of the protocol. We will be launching version 2 soon, which will allow us to deploy new features and create a new roadmap. This new roadmap and these new features and milestones will be unveiled in the upcoming weeks and months. I will say before the end of April 2018. All this information will be public and communicated to our community. Well, our relationship with Rostock, RSK, is very close. We are both companies from Argentina and with investors in common. Sergio Lerner, who is the mastermind behind RSK, is also one of the main advisors of RCN. Regarding RCN, we have designed the entire technology in an agnostic way, making it easier to migrate and to move the technology to another framework like RSK or other blockchain smart contract technologies. At this moment, we are experimenting with RSK. We are running an RSK node. We will see in the future if it makes sense for us to do something directly between our platform and Rostock's new main network.
Nosotros ayudamos a Ripio a desarrollar una aplicación alfa para interactuar con el protocolo. Con el flujo de préstamos de Ripio pudimos probar nuestro engine en el mundo real. Mientras tanto, comenzó el fenómeno de los CryptoKitties. Esto saturó la red de Ethereum y nos hizo dar cuenta que nuestro engine no funcionaba bien en ese caso. La versión 2 del engine está en proceso de ser terminada. Este nuevo engine es más flexible y permite realizar el mismo trabajo con menos transacciones. Cuando esté terminado, vamos a integrarlo con Ripio y RSN Exchange, abriendo la plataforma al público. También lo que vamos a hacer es migrar RSN Exchange al exchange que ya existe dentro de Ripio, llamado exchange.ripio.com. Esto es una excelente idea y nos encantaría verla implementada. El protocolo RCN es totalmente open source, así que cualquier desarrollador puede crear una aplicación para interactuar con la red. No necesita tenernos de intermediarios. Sin embargo, nuestro roadmap ahora está mucho más centrado en integrar compañías grandes que ya tengan experiencia en el mundo de préstamos o financiero. Creemos que de esta manera podemos lograr mayor crecimiento y con mayor cantidad de usuarios poniendo préstamos en la red. Nosotros vamos a proveer documentación y soporte para los wallet providers que quieran hacer una integración con el RCN. Sin embargo, la duración del proceso varía dependiendo de qué tipo de integración el wallet provider quiera hacer con nuestra red. Por ejemplo, algunos wallets podrían decidir ser simplemente una interfaz para interactuar con nuestro protocolo. De esta forma le permitirían a los borrowers hacer solicitudes de préstamos directamente sobre la red y a los lenders llenar esas solicitudes. Otros wallets podrían abstraer todo ese proceso y nunca mostrarle al borrower que en el fondo está usando RCN. Esas integraciones podrían ser un poco más complicadas, ya que requerirían conversión de moneda automática y toda una capa de abstracción entre el protocolo y el usuario.